Soccer Night in Detroit presents USL Championship Soccer. All right, we're going to try this. We go from, you know, uh, circumstances beyond control. Right before recording this, we're recording this on a Friday. I'm going to be at the Lions game tomorrow, so we're doing this on a Friday night prior to Detroit taking on the what do you call it?
The Texans
The
for the
Houston
last
Texans tomorrow. So
preseason game of the year. And I'll say this right now: thank God the preseason's over.
yes, we get the real business in a couple weeks, but we get the real business right now because yeah, we're looking at it right now. It's time. It's time for the push to the playoffs here, and the first test.
Welcome to the third and final period.
Yes, the third
where
and final
everybody's
period.
still alive.
Oh God! And the third and final period being, of course, the playoffs, or not the playoffs, but the final part of the regular season. Detroit City opens up that final 10-game stretch tonight with a legacy team, of course, the Tampa Bay Rowdies celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. But needless to say, their season thus far has not been, shall we say, glorious for the.
Dismal. They've been mostly mirrored in the bottom of the Eastern Conference standing for since the beginning of the season. They let go of their head coach. And they're trying to fight for respectability despite all the outside distractions and all that. It's just been.
I don't think they fully recovered from last year, as far as having to be out of Al Lane Stadium, obviously due to the hurricane and all that stuff, being vagabonds and all that stuff. They just haven't really gotten it together, and players being gone and whatnot with that club, especially right now. Right now, they're sitting in the 12th spot.
And you mentioned last year they had Cal Jennings last year, and now he's doing gangbusters in the top of the board for Charleston
Battery, yes, exactly.
Battery.
Yep, and
okay.
Yep, he's no longer there, but now now he's playing for Charleston. But Dominic Casiato took over the club about I'd say back in July. They've been doing okay. Right now they're sitting at 18 points, 1 point behind Birmingham Legion. They're right and 3 points behind Rhode Island SC for that 8th spot in the Eastern Conference right now. And now it's time for table watching right now.
I know.
The
USL put an article looking at everybody, and we have a coin flip chance making the playoffs. They have projected we may finish 8th this season. 8 when the schedule is over, and you don't want to face on either Louisville or the Battery FC. I should have gone back. Yeah.
Not necessarily. I mean, that's the two teams you want to avoid, but it's the playoffs. Anything can happen, as you know.
I know.
And the thing is, right now, I mean, with looking at that table right now, Loudoun United sitting at 31 points, 1 point ahead of North Carolina FC. They've got a big battle coming up tomorrow or tonight against Charleston Battery. As a matter of fact, one of the
top matchups in the East Conference, including El Clamaco 3 between Rhode Island and Hartford.
3 tonight between the bottom two teams in that Eastern or in the playoff picture, Hartford Athletic and Rhode Island FC. Big news coming out of that one is Hartford Athletic lost Mamadou Dieng to transfer to Minnesota United. So
that underling. Oh my!
Yep. So a big move for him. Jin has been the one of the top goal scorers of that team. Good for him. Bad for Hartford Athletic though. One of their big key guns is going to be gone from that one. But I mean, around the table. Let's stop talking about around the table. Let's get concerned of what our opponent's going to be on us this afternoon, and that will be the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And like I said, Dom Cassiato had a project pretty much when he took over the reins after leading coming from Union Omaha. He ended up getting the gig at Tampa Bay. Their form as of late, though, not so good. Win over the Hartford Athletic, lost to Charleston, a win over Indy 11, losers to North Carolina SC, and then Phoenix Rising. They played to a 1-1 draw last week down in Tampa Bay. But the big move for those guys last year was Ollie Bassett coming into the picture. He was supposed to fill the role of Cal Jennings. Not so much this year as it's not so much. 1 goal on the year thus far, but it's Rubens Pasius who is on loan right now. He's got 7 goals. He's their leading goal scorer right now. But the big news that came down today was they traded for a goaltender.
Oh, yeah.
A goaltender in. One that's familiar to us.
I know. We faced on twice at the beginning of the season, and he's getting transferred to Tampa Bay. Who's that goaltender?
His name is Bill Hamid. Bill Hamid, last 2 times he faced us, of course, it was a 3-0 draw the first time around that we played. I'm looking that up real quick here as I'm looking that up on my phone now.
I'm trying to avoid the phone because we're recording in unusual circumstances.
I agree. So I'm doing the legwork here, but
okay.
Yeah, you're looking at first game that these 2 teams faced each other was a 2-0 victory and another 2-0 victory. So 2-0 victories that he has faced the 2 times that he has faced Detroit City FC in the past, and now Hamid is coming to Tampa Bay to solidify the goaltenders. I mean, he's a journeyman. He's been around. He's been around.
So. And he's been a big part of Miami FC's sort of renaissance after their nightmare season last season. And they're in playoff contention as well.
Absolutely. And, the good thing you look at it, familiar foe. Is he going to be available? Technically, he could be available.
Maybe. I'll say maybe.
Yeah. Technically, it could be available because everything went down today. There was an official statement from the club about that. So usually that means, okay, he is available for selection on Saturday or for the match the match this evening. So it could be a possibility. We could face him a 3rd time tonight.
Yeah, now the last time he was at Keyword, he stopped a penalty shot of Darren Smith, and that would have been 9, considering he scored last week. And oh my.
Yeah, oh my is right. But, but like I said, journeyman goaltender. He's been around, played on the national team, and like I said, the guy has had experience, and big move on Tampa for them doing that, and maybe it'll help them, in their chance for the playoffs. Meanwhile, Detroit City got a little busy as well.
You're right, because of and I read this last night on Facebook by the Major Detroit. It was not broken by the Major Detroit. It was reported by a beat writer from the
Philadelphia Union.
Other team, other league reporter in Philly. What's the story? Morning Glory?
Yes, that guy, the beat writer for, I'm looking him up right now. So, as I go to that one. So, as I'm shuffling here, let's see. We'll go to the Majors Detroit on that one because that'll be the quick way about it. But it's been okay. So let's see here because I know they did post it on the Facebook page. Jose Roberto Nunez from the Union Beat reporter reported that Philadelphia is finalizing a deal to loan Isaiah LaFleur to Detroit City FC. Now, he's a young kid, LaFleur is. Yeah,
22.
22, and he's been in the he's mostly been in the system for in the next pro system throughout his career, and as
And before that, when they used to have a lot of MLS team in the USL-C, he's been
yeah,
mostly a player in Sporting Kansas City 2, Houston 2, and Union 2. He
yeah,
hasn't
I
played
mean
much, but yeah, and he had played only 17 games.
he did win a trophy though. He did win for Houston Dynamo in the Open Cup back in 2023. So
I
that's
see.
yeah. So he has played. The last couple of years he's played with the or he's played in 20 matches this year. 7.35 rating, pretty decent. 1 goal, 3 assists. Mainly plays left back right now. Now the reason why this deal is in progress, we'll see what happens. We lost a bit.
Big injury news what I read on Facebook, and somebody was at the open practice, which was indoors at City Couple Up because of the rainy weather on Monday. It was moved indoors. A big injury news there.
Yep, Reese Williams fractured his tibia, and it's not looking good as far as his availability for the rest of the season.
Oh
We'll
my.
find out. We'll find out more, and huge blow there, especially into the backfield there. Now we're looking at this if the move.
Two injuries out for the season. One, Ben Morris, because of knee, and now this. Oh my, what a worst time to have to happen during the rush to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I mean, Reese, steady veteran, one of the Nice All Stars, as you know, and he's been here a long time. And of course, you hate to lose a guy like that going into the final stretch of the season. But I mean, I'm looking at this possible move here for LaFleur that it could add some depth to the backfield. I mean, we're looking at. I mean, Reese has been coming off the bench as of late. As you know, he had an injury earlier in the season, a little knock that kept him out for a little bit as well. And of course, Alex Villanueva filling in that spot with Michael Bryant or with Devin Amumensa moving to the other side of the pitch, other wing, and that's been solid now with Shane Wheat and Michael Bryant being in the middle being the center backs, while Stephen Carroll has been dealing with his, with his injury, and of course going under the scope of that. But good news, as we shared last week, that he is in training. There's who knows if he'll be available for tomorrow. For tonight or Saturday's or tonight's match. I keep going. We got to remember, we're recording on a Friday night here.
Yeah, because we've been busy. We didn't do a musing this week because of various
Little
stuff
bit of
out of
issues,
our
but
control.
yeah. Circumstances beyond our control. There, I mean, life happens, as you know, in this. But like I said, there's some moves coming up here, and you look at this now. We know we don't have a sporting director right now.
Yeah, no sporting director.
So
The wellness director who left at the same time, and now this week, if you've been following, one of our assistants have left for personal reasons, right, Matt?
yes, indeed. We'll go back to that one. Yeah, another one. Uh, a big loss for Detroit City there because, like I said, as I'm going back on that one, so yeah. But
We're doing it on the fly,
we're
ladies
doing
and
it on the
gentlemen.
fly. We're doing it live.
Yeah, it would have been amusing at the old days at Channel 50 or TV 50, now
Right,
CW.
exactly. So, but yeah, big loss as far as the assistants go for Detroit City FC. Nick Dasovic leaving the team for personal reasons.
Yeah, it's
And
understandable.
yeah, Nick came in. I believe he did come in with Danny.
Yes.
Yeah, he did come in with Danny. So yeah, big. I would say big loss to the technical staff, and and that's the thing with these players. I mean, with all the adversity that's been going on, it's just keeping on at this
Oh,
point.
brother.
Yeah, you got to keep on keeping on, despite of what dealings are going on in the back rooms and
Yeah.
whatnot at the clubhouse or in the offices or in the front offices or whatnot. It's just a matter of keeping on. And so far, since all this has been taking place, it's been one draw, one win, and one loss for Detroit
Uh,
City on that. So they've been pretty much keeping. I mean, if you count the Jägermeister Cup victory there, um, it could be a 2-1-1 in form for Detroit City since the Trevor James
Departure.
departure. Yes, so it's been, like I said, it's been a while. It's been a wild ride for Detroit City's men's side for the last month or so, with ins and outs and whatnot. So, and the thing is, trying to keep focus on the thing is for Detroit City is keeping focus, because you got to keep focus as far as getting this thing put together, and trying to make a decent run. Right now, they're in a pretty good position right now. They could possibly pop in the top four, or they could be in a very poor position where they could end up falling off the face of the earth because of their position right now in the table in the USL Championship, sitting in sixth. They are currently 4 points away from the eighth spot right now, 2 points ahead of Hartford Athletic right now. However, in front of them, they're only 6 points away from Loudoun United for catching them. They're only 5 points away from North Carolina FC in catching them as far as getting
And
into
North
the top
Carolina
four.
is going to have to come back winning the next 10 games to come here to play a game of Keyort. Believe it or not, 7 of the next 8 weeks, next 2 months, will be at home at Keyort. The only road game in between New Mexico and United. It's a midweek game.
Yep, and for the like I said, it's gonna be a long stretch of home games, and now you look at Detroit City, it's about defending the fortress, defending the
Yeah,
fortress of Keyworth, and you got some big opponents in those 10 games coming up, and it all starts with a team like right now that has been, shall
yeah,
we say, they've been, like I said, and they've been, we've had instances where they've, had struggles with teams like that. Right now, one of the teams that they lost to that was in last place is playing in. They are playing in the eighth spot right now.
I know. Considering that
Or
Hartford,
seventh spot right now.
I'm
Seventh spot.
presuming you're talking about Hartford, right?
Yes, I'm talking about
Yeah,
Hartford.
which they had a good week because they reached the semifinals of the Jägermeister Cup, and
Correct.
their next round in September will be against the only
Greenville
USL
Triumph.
one team left, the
Yeah.
Greenfield Triumph. And the other semifinals, by the way, will be their El Clamico mate. Rhode Island will face on Sacramento Republic. Can we say El Clamico Part 4? Maybe.
We shall see. It depends on what happens going forward. It depends on what happens. I believe it's in a couple weeks when those semifinals take place.
I'm going to double check if we're not it's not on the same day as their League Cup semifinals. Do
Yeah,
not ask me because remember we thought we had the day alone, and then I found
yeah. I
out.
think it's probably going to be a midweek dealio is what that's going to end up being. So, but
Can we
yeah.
just have the stage alone to showcase the USL best? Can we? Hello.
Well, I mean, you can't really. I mean, at this part of the competition, it's like that with the Leagues Cup and all that stuff. Of course, fixtures are going to be rearranged and all that stuff for those four clubs to accommodate their participation in the Jägermeister Cup, and it's commonplace, for most of those clubs in that aspect. So.
And by the way, this is the first of 2 matchups with Tampa Bay. The last game will be at Al Lang Stadium for everything on Decision Day in
Yeah,
the
we're hoping
USL.
it's not. One thing though,
Yes.
I will have to bring one thing I want to bring up. You know what? Everybody's talking about magic numbers. Tigers popped up with a magic number. We actually
Yeah.
have a magic number right now.
Yeah.
Believe it or
What's the
not.
magic number for us to clinch the playoff spot?
Let's see here as we take a look here. I'm looking at the USL website as far as that goes, and I believe our magic number right now is 27. I
Wow.
believe, yeah,
I
20.
know. Two teams are near closing to clinching Charlton Battery. I always mess up Charlotte and Charlottesville, excuse
Yeah,
me. And
yeah,
Louisville.
yeah. Like I said, let's see. I mean, looking at that, trying to see here. So latest. Okay, we'll go to home because I have the latest news there. But yeah, but like I said, and the top spot right now, one team can clinch this week. That would be Louisville City.
Oh,
If they beat New Mexico United, Detroit City wins against Tampa Bay. There it is. They need
uh,
5 points. There's your 5 points right there. That's the 5 point
and
swing.
in the playoffs with only 2.5 months left.
Exactly. And
As we go down the stretch, as the horse racer, when they used to have the Kentucky Derby on ABC, used to say, down
mhm.
the stretch they come.
Yep, down the
In
stretch
the
they come. And
ballpark of broken dreams, like the old retrack announcer used to say at Hazel Park or Nerdville, one of the two.
yep, exactly. And it's just right now, I mean, we're looking at it right now as, it's down to the point where now I found race to the playoffs. So right now, I mean, looking at the race to the playoffs here,
Uh-huh.
and we're looking at the scenarios right now. So we'll scroll right down to the sixth spot where Detroit City is. I did mention that magic number of 27. Projected finish is eighth at
Uh,
36.7 points, based on who we have left on the schedule. Maximum points
uh-huh.
available is 58 points, which is more than what we had last year. That put us into the third spot in the Eastern Conference. So
Uh-huh.
doesn't say where it was. Playoff odds are at 51% right now. We're sitting right now at 6 wins, 7 draws, 7 losses, 25 points on the year.
I think we should win for the lucky 777. Triple seven.
Triple sevens across the board. That's what we're thinking here. And
Actually,
I
come
did
on
mention,
to
and then like I said, I did mention about Louisville, that 5 point swing right there. And of course, that's pretty much, if they get the 3 points against New Mexico United, and then in turn Detroit beats Tampa Bay. Detroit, Tampa Bay being the bottom of the division or bottom
for
of
the
the
bottom of the
conference.
pyramid.
And like I said, it's the that combination right there. That's the 5 point swing that they need in order to clinch the playoffs. So that's the only team right now that has a chance of clinching a playoff spot this week
Uh,
in the whole deal right there. And we'll be watching this for the next 10 weeks or so, or 9 weeks, going forward or so, because it's going to be wild. It's going to be a wild race to the or wild push to the playoffs, as we say. So,
I know.
and the only thing, and like I said, speaking of dominating and run away with things here,
Me,
You added a point to that total on
I was dead on with the
last
score,
Friday night.
1-1, when we finally said his
You
name.
said draw, and I was thinking win, and sure enough, you come away with the draw on Friday night against the mighty North Carolina FC. So,
No,
and yeah, I just got to figure things out here. How do we look? How are we looking at this one?
I'm going to say a 2-0 victory this week. I think Darren Smith off that major boost now, finally scoring goal.
You
I
see
think
him, you see him finally putting one past Hamid.
yes, because to quote the legend, or paraquote the legendary entrance music of a famous wrestler, we will say his name and he may score this week. Who knows?
I wouldn't mind Kobe Hernandez Foster putting one
Oh,
in in from deep or whatever it is, and making contact with the back of the net. That'd be amazing, especially for the run of play that he's had in the last couple weeks. Couple man of the matches there, team of the week this week for USL Championship, and well
Thank you very
deserved,
much
by the
for
way.
reminding me. I forgot about that.
Yep. I mean, with when he got the man to man, I think he had like an 8.0 FOTMOB rating on last Friday night when he got the man of the match deal. So yeah, like I said, it's just he's just been on a tear. I'm gonna say on this one, I mean with Tampa Bay, I mean they eked out a 1-1 draw last week against the Phoenix Rising. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not gonna go. I don't want to go against. I don't want to flip and go against you and try to sneak a point in there as far as that goes. But this is a team that Detroit City can beat. I honestly
Yeah,
think this is a team that Detroit City can beat, and we don't base the points on scores or whatever it is. We just base it flat out. You get 3 points, you get 1 point, you get 0 points.
I
Um,
know.
I'm gonna go say let's go with Detroit City 2-0 victory. Habib gets shut out once again. And another clean sheet for possibly Carlos Saldana between the pipes for
Okay.
Detroit City. I like that back line right now with what we got with Shane Wheat and Michael Bryant there. Could be Stephen Carroll. We'll see what happens as far as that goes if he's available and healthy and whatnot. So I mean, the back line's coming stronger there. Coming stronger, liking the midfield presence, especially with Kobe Hernandez Foster out there. Not to mention Atez Juve playing a huge role in things right now for Detroit City FC.
Uh, I know.
So, but I'm looking at it as a 2-0 victory as well on tonight here at Keyworth Stadium. As far as this game goes here, I mean, yeah, we were gonna go retro. I'm wearing the Express jersey, of course. I always wear my Detroit Express jersey every time we play Tampa Bay, but
Okay.
got a nice graphic for you leading up to this one. Where are we seeing this match, Mister
Well, you could
Palisavec?
you could see the Detroit Express face on the Tampa Bay Rowdies. I mean, Detroit City FC versus the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Saturday night prime time on TV 50 Detroit at 7 o'clock. And also, you can see the game on a little new cable channel called ESPN Plus. I don't know what
Yes.
to look for. Yes, but it's going to be at 7 o'clock Saturday night
Absolutely, it is.
on
And
TV
also,
50
you can
Detroit.
catch it on CBSDetroit.com
Oh, yes.
as
I forgot
well,
the web
all
thing.
throughout the state of Michigan. But speaking of ESPN, did you happen to cap? I got Hulu, so I'm lucky to get ESPN Plus and all that stuff. It's going to be interesting. I might end up seeing if we have a quad box tonight for this one.
Okay.
So that I mean, especially when we got like four games going on at once, of course the
Yeah, you're
Detroit
right. And
City,
don't forget the new ESPN Plus app, by the way.
yeah, the new ESPN app, absolutely, and yeah, because now ESPN is conglomerated. Now you have to pay like 29 something a month. Fortunately, with
30
me,
bucks a month. I
yeah,
know.
yeah. Fortunately, I got Hulu, so I'm able to use that, and I was able to link up with my Disney account and all that stuff. So now I can watch everything on the ESPN app where I couldn't before with Hulu.
I should have just mentioned ESPN Plus app, but I will still mention ESPN Plus. Same thing.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah, and
I
they
know.
do still have ESPN Plus separately, so you can
Uh,
still watch it on the ESPN Plus app.
yes. Okay. All right.
So that's
So, thank you very much for this. Well, this is the best thing we could do.
yeah, exactly. Best thing we could do at short notice. And like I said, I'm at doing the Lions game and trying to rush the keyword. It's going to be a challenge. It's
I
going to be a
know.
challenge.
And by the way, we'll be at Keyword Stadium after the match, after the hours, in real life.
And
Hopefully.
hopefully, with a positive news, and maybe get a couple interviews as well, and track some of those key matchups. in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, and well, in both conferences as well. Lots of action tonight in the USL Championship, and we'll follow along around the sea as well. So
Next week, when we get to when we do Labor Day, we will have to mention the Western Conference. Danny, last week we mostly focused on the Eastern Conference. Western Conference, while everybody except for Tulsa FC.
as we, I believe, take on San Antonio FC next week.
I know, and they're going to be probably angry since they lost in the quarterfinals of the JG Cup.
Yeah, they got their own business going on in the Western Conference, and yeah, we'll take a look at that stuff. So, hopefully, I can do some magic as far as graphics go as well. To get a little playoff picture, for the Western Conference as well. So, but we'll be at it. We'll be seeing you after hours from Keyworth Stadium. Until then, folks, keep your feet in the ground. Keep reaching for the galaxy.